Everybody goes, okay, great. So, let's say you got a guy, round number, he has $1 million. Okay? I'll take Lee Small. So here's Lee. Lee's got $1 million laying around, high net worth individual, doesn't really know what he wants to do with this money. There's a couple options that he has. Okay? Number one, and this is outside, well, there's a number of options. One of them is do nothing. Okay? If he dies and his estate is over $5 million currently, next year who knows what it could be $1 million to $3 million. That $1 million, when he dies, his estate is dissolved, he's going to reduce 50% of it if it's over the unified credit limit. Here's the key. Let's say he's got $1 million he wants to go to his kids. Okay? We can do one of two things. One is he could take that money, okay, option one, and he can gift it out of his estate, use part of his unified credit, get it out of his estate. In other words, I have no control or access to this money ever again, Ryan. I'm going to put it over here outside my state. Now, what would he do? He could give it right to the kids. Okay? How many high net worth people at 60, 70 years old want to hand their kid $1 million for doing nothing? Give you a hint, it's a round number. Right? 0. Okay? What do they usually want to do is they want to set it up in some kind of trust because they say, listen, I love my son Ryan, but I don't want him to really get this money just yet. Or, in essence, I want some strings attached. Okay? So we set up a trust. Now, the next question is, if that money isn't going to really go to the kids until I die, and we got a time period here, what's the best way to leverage your asset, financially speaking? Life insurance. Hands down. You get 3-4 times your money, and it's not until when? You die? Well, let's do something based on your death, which would be life insurance, and instead of $1 million, we put it on a life insurance policy and turn it into $3 million. Clients say, wow, that's great. But there's some downsides to that. Over the next 20 years, there's no liquidity. I mean, literally, your kids get nothing until you die. And they go, okay, what else? Here's an idea. Why don't we take the Lincoln Choice Plus or American Legacy variable annuity inside this account with a portion of the money, and we're going to, inside the trust, turn on an income stream and buy a life insurance policy all inside the trust. Let the $1 million go into the annuity, and the income off of that purchase a life insurance policy and a pay-as-you-go strategy versus a lump sum strategy. And then I go through the income to heirs and I for life and how that works in the funding, and I show them an illustration.
Do you talk about the pass-through, the pass-through, so the money is actually coming out of the trust and funding life insurance so that you don't get the 35% tax bracket at all?
No, because we're doing it all inside the trust. So, and then there's multiple kinds of trust.
Well,
I mean, you can do
gains that sit inside the trust and grow at a 35% tax.
Yeah, and again, a lot of times, so I get, conceptually, here's how it works. Then here's why you want to do it. You could put this money in a managed account, right?
So you're not going that deep is what you're saying?
Well, it depends on the level of...
You're actually wrong, Rob, because if he's using I for life...
That's what I'm saying, he's funding the money inside the trust, so therefore it's not getting a 35% tax bracket, but it's
Right.
buying inside there.
Only on the taxable portion, the exclusion ratio.
That's what I'm saying.
It's reducing, yeah. So there's a number of benefits to doing a traditional plan.
Is he going that deep with it, or is he kind of just surface?
Well, let's throw a wrench in it. The 70-year-old is early dementia.
So,
I'm working on one, so mom's got dementia.
okay, so so now let's say we got mom and dad. And then here's the nice thing. Here's the general concept, okay?
Right.
Matter of fact, hold that thought. I'm going to come back to it,
Okay.
okay? Because then we could go 100 different directions with all that. Well, I got this guy, and it's a second marriage, and...
But it comes up.
Right. It does come up, okay? But that's general rule. So one, you can do a single pay, put it all into a life insurance policy. It sucks because no liquidity, no access, no one's getting anything until mom and dad both die. We do second to die, right? Because you get more leverage on the life insurance. No one's really doing those. By the way, Lincoln doesn't want single pay product anymore. We were the leader in it 2 years ago. We've converted our life insurance guy, Mark Berry in particular, in my territory, they're trying to go everybody into an annual pay program. It's better for Lincoln, it's better for the client. You ask a client, they love this. If I die in 2 weeks in a single pay product, all you get is $3 million. If I did this, I get my 2.7 million in my life insurance policy, and I still got my $1 million in the annuity. Way better. I'd rather pay as I go than put it all in a life insurance policy.
But isn't the comp better to the broker at that point if it's a single pay?
Not anymore.
They
It
change?
used to be, not anymore. Okay? Now here's these are the two biggest things. Okay? So number one, get it out of your state and do all that.
Single pay.
That is if you've sat in front of a high net worth client, unless they're really loaded, I'm talking 20 million and better, it's hard to get them to do it. Here's why. I'm 65 years old. I mean, granted, if I had $20 million, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you probably right now. But they hang with people that are worth 30, 40, and $50 million. In their mind, you know what, Alice? I don't know if I can get rid of $1 million. So they are reluctant to just write a check, get rid of it, I'll never see that money again, just so that my kids have a nice lifestyle. It's a hard sell. The high net worth clients can do it, but your clients between, let's say, 5 and 15 or $20 million, they typically don't do it. Here's the solution for them. The other option, by the way, this is best. Here's second best. You got $1 million. What if we do this? What if we buy the variable annuity in your name? You're not prepared to get rid of the money. I understand that. Rob, in your scenario, what would make sense then is let's still buy the variable annuity. We're going to buy Choice Plus over here, American Legacy, and we're going to use the income to fund that same life insurance policy, but we're going to split it up. Instead of doing it all inside the trust, we're going to do it in your name so you maintain full control, full access, and if you ever want to cancel this, you get your money back, so do it. This scenario, if I want to cancel and get my money back, you're screwed. I'm not saying you can't, but you had a lot of tax issues and refiling if you got to pull money back into your estate. Okay? In this case, I buy the life insurance policy outside the estate. The income here, if I got to pay on my $1 million, that 50,000 GIB comes to life insurance, it's going to be guaranteed to be funded. Here's the downside. You got to file a crummy letter every single year on that gift. And those of you that aren't familiar with a crummy letter, more or less your kids have to sign off that said, I'm giving it. In other words, my kids are saying, I don't want the 50,000. Put it in a life insurance policy. Right. They're in essence disclaiming the money, so that they get the $3.2 million versus 50 grand today.